All right, on to our last topic of this unit, and we are dealing with functions. A function is a rule that assigns one output value for every input value. Now, you're going to get into functions a whole lot more in algebra class and in high school, so what we're doing right now is just kind of learning the basics. So when we have an ordered pair, x first then y, x is also known as our input, y is known as our output. So a very easy way to picture this, and it's kind of childish, is if we have a function machine. So we have an input value, an x value, that goes into our machine. The rule will change it somehow, and out will pop our y value, our output. So let's say we have an example of a rule like x plus 2. So if I have the input value of 3, so I think an x value of 3 is going to go into this machine, then it has to use this rule, so the x value has to be added with 2, so I'd have 3 plus 2. Its output would be 5. So input was 3, it magically changed, 5 came out. If I put a 6 as my input, it would go into this machine, out would pop an 8. So every input value, we have an output value that comes out. If I had a different rule, say 2x plus 4, and I put a value in, let's put 2 in. 2 is my x value, so I need to put a 2 in the x value spot. Remember, we need to use our order of operations. So the first thing that I need to do with that x spot is multiply it by 2. I need to do my multiplication before I can do any addition. So if I put that 2 in, I would need to do 2 times 2, which is 4, then add another 4, and out would pop my 8 as my output value. Let's do one more. Let's do an input value of 10. If 10 goes in, it needs to be multiplied by 2, then add 4, out pops 24. Alright, so here's a rule, y equals x plus 8. We need to solve 4 questions using that rule of x plus 8, y equals x plus 8. Now notice, 2 of the questions we are trying to find the value of y, and the other 2 questions we're trying to find the value of x. So be very careful and read those questions very carefully. So first one, find the value of y when x equals 4. Alright, so I need to put a 4 value in that spot. So y equals 4 plus 8. Well, that's pretty easy to do. I can figure out what y is by just doing 4 plus 8. So y equals 12. Let's try it with this other one. X now has a value of negative 2. So I do negative 2 plus 8. Y equals negative 2 plus 8. I can do that math. Negative 2 plus 8 equals 6. So I found the value of y. Y equals 6. I found the value of y up here. Y equals 12. So now this is different. We need to figure out what x is, and you are given y. So the y value of 28 needs to go into the y slot. Be very careful. Don't put it in the x slot. So now our equation looks like 28 equals x plus 8. So to solve that, we're going to have to do a step of algebra to get my x alone. So I'm going to have to subtract 8 from both sides, and I have x equals 20. So I found the value of x when I was given the value of y. Same thing, y is negative 6. So make sure you put it in the y slot. Don't accidentally put it in the x slot. So I have negative 6 equals x plus 8. Do a step of algebra to get x all alone, so minus 8 from both sides. There's my line if I need it. X is the only thing left over there. Negative 6 minus 8 is negative 14. So we found the value of x when we were given y. Let's try another rule. here I have a rule of y equals 2x plus negative 4. Now when I see those two symbols next to each other, I don't like it at all. So I'm going to rewrite that equation as y equals 2x minus 4. It's a whole lot easier to look at. Alright, so in this case I know what my x value is, negative 3. So I need to put that in my x slot. So I would have y equals 2 times x, or negative 3, minus 4. Do that math, but make sure you use your order of operations. So do the multiplication before you do the subtraction. I have 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6, minus 4 gets you negative 10. Next one, I have an x value of 6, so I need to put it in my x slot. Don't accidentally put it in your y slot, put it in your x slot. So I have my equation now is y equals 2 times x, which is 6, minus 4. Do my multiplication, I have 12 minus 4, and I get 8. Alright, now we need to do the opposite. I'm giving you the y value, you need to find the x value. So y equals 8, so put that in the y slot, equals 2x minus 4. Now I'm going to need to do 2 steps of algebra to figure, or to get my x variable all alone. I'm going to need to start by adding 4 to both sides. So I'm left with 2x equals 12. Now my x is being multiplied by 2, so I need to divide by 2. And I'm left with x equals, squish that in here, 6. Now if I had really been on the ball, I would have noticed that these two questions are asking the exact same thing. When x is 6, I got a y value of 8. So now that I've done that problem, if I look up here, if I have a y value of 8, what's my x value going to be? Well, we already did that. X is 6, y is 8. So if y is 8, x is going to be 6. So if I had really been on the ball, I could have skipped some of this work. The last one, y is negative 6, so I need to put that in the y slot. So negative 6 equals 2x minus 4. Solve your variable for x, so I need to add 4 to both sides. And I'm left with 2x on the right side of my equal sign. And negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. X is being multiplied by 2, so divide by 2. And I'm left with x equals negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. All right, stop. Complete checkup number 6 before continuing. Thank you.